and welcome to our fantastic podcast called...
Get on my level.
Yeah, this is Get On My Level. We're going to talk about all things nerdy. We've got Steve Zaragoza with us.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey. And I'm AJ.
AJ Salas. He's very sexy. Hi, guys.
I just love that we were prepped. With
We were
like,
super
specifically,
prepared. Please don't mess up the name. And guess what we did?
Instantly, like I was.
I
Just
immediately forgot the name.
I'm glad I was off the hook.
I know your names.
You called an audible.
Now you fucked up!
Yeah, exactly.
But I just love that, like.
Dan specifically, Dan here.
Yeah, Dan was like, man, we had a guy in here that was like,
Total
welcome
idiot.
to our show.
Don't read from it. And we're like,
level.
Get On My Level podcast.
And the
Yeah.
I just.
To be fair, he called an audible right there where he was like, I'm the host. You do it.
You threw him under the bus.
Yeah.
I did.
Yep.
I almost kind of threw you under the bus, but then I decided to throw him under the bus because
was-
you're the guest, and we can't throw the guest under the bus.
I knew I was off the hook from the start.
right, cool.
I was like, this is gonna be great.
Yep.
Well, so what we're talking about today, guys, let's get to it. One of the first things we're going to talk about is the Walking Dead video game, which honestly I don't have a ton of experience with, but my friend AJ has literally played all of it.
Yeah, so this game is the best. I honestly wasn't too excited about it. Look, you can tell by my big old guns, I'm an FPS guy, okay? First-person shooters all the way. Call of Duty 45, sign me up. I want to play an 8-hour story and be done by the end of the evening.
Nice.
You want to spend $60 on a 6-hour game.
100%. And
Yeah.
then I want to play that game on multiplayer for about 2 hours
Yeah.
total and just get leveled
And you
verbally
wanna-
and physically.
You want to drink red Mountain Dew.
For sure.
And you want to eat
Is there any
Hot
other kind of
Pockets.
Mountain Dew anymore?
No.
Yeah.
There's nothing else.
No.
Yeah.
There's Baja Blast if you can afford it.
Yeah,
Wow.
otherwise it's a little out of
Yeah,
it's a
because
little
that means
crazy.
you got to leave the house and go to Taco Bell.
Yeah, who
No,
wants to do
Mom
that?
brings home the red Mountain Dew.
Nobody has time. The first time I was ever on Xbox Live, I was a young little baby boy, and I
Probably
figured-
just as handsome though.
even more so. I was getting it in when I was young, but
Crushing the P.
Yeah, I think it was like 11 or 12, and I couldn't figure out how to turn off the mic, and I was excited to tell my mom I figured out how to turn on talking with these strangers, and then she came up, and now you could hear her, and then so
Great.
everyone just became like the meanest people
Yeah, like
ever.
fucking pussy. Your mom's.
Fucking idiot, fucking piece of shit. And then I'm like 12 going, Mom, stop talking. They can hear me. I didn't even think to like unplug
Shut
it.
up!
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so next thing I know, I'm just turning off my Xbox, and I didn't play that again for 6 months.
Wow, because of that incident.
Yeah, that was scarring. Those are supposed to be my
Well,
friends.
I'll tell you, man, cyberbullying is real.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah, I'm old, so I missed a lot of that.
You got real bullying.
Yeah, I got real bullying.
I got real bullying,
You
too.
like to read, fucking pussy.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, man. Sorry, I'm so into like reading words.
Yeah.
I know that makes me a giant pussy, guys.
Did you know that you can read porn? You should have told him.
Yeah, yeah.
You should have said that.
Literotica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can read erotica, and there's a
Also,
whole.
I'm gonna learn how to be smart and interesting and funny, and girls will have sex with me because of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas eventually, you're gonna have a shitty personality, and no matter what you look like, no one's gonna bang you. It's gonna
Yeah,
be
because
awesome.
most people didn't realize, like in my high school days, like the popular guys were like the athletic, like football guys, or like the good-looking, like actor type
Yeah, yeah.
guys.
Yep.
And all I could think of was like, I'm gonna stay home and watch a lot of porn.
Yeah.
And learn some great techniques.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm gonna read a lot, potentially. I'm gonna read a lot. I'm gonna play a lot of video games, and I'm gonna use my computer a lot. That way, when I'm older, I will know how to use a computer, and I will know how to read. And then those guys will be like, "Oh shit, I can't play sports anymore because
And they can't read.
and they
because didn't
can't
have time.
read.
Yeah.
They're fucked."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
how we
so-
win, jocks.
That's how we
Take
win.
that.
And
Yeah.
is it good now? Did it work
No.
out?
No, but it was a slow burn.
Sure. And girls do love when you know
By the way,
computers.
learning
Yes.
learning how to fuck from porn is not especially new porn.
No.
Old porn maybe, but new porn is just like, how can I murder this chick's
Yeah, it's like-
vagina with my huge dick?
Yeah.
That's it.
New porn is like hostile.
Yeah, I'm like uncomfortable watching it
Yeah.
sometimes now.
Yeah.
I mean, I still check it.
I had a friend who was like talking about how he was watching a porn and like the woman got slapped in the face by the man real hard.
Yeah.
And he was like, that was it for me. That was it. I had to switch it off. I couldn't do it after
Yeah, yeah.
that.
No, one time when I was
That's good. You should stop.
Yeah,
Then you
yeah.
can't just be like, well, she seems upset. Just
Yeah.
keep going.
Yeah.
Get
it's
done.
just
Well, we're
keep
gonna
doing
sound
that.
like old people, but like I would like to say, in my day, pornography was just P and the V, and that's it. None of that spitting, fucking jackhammer, hand job shit that they do now.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, it
miss
was
that.
just a real simple, quiet missionary, no sound.
Yeah.
And no music.
maybe a little dog style.
Maybe.
Maybe a little dog
Sure.
style.
And then
Girl
after
on
about-
top.
You pull out every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they would shake hands.
Yeah.
And then they would go to bed, and you would just watch them sleep.
Well, after they shook hands, the man would usually say, "Ma'am, I had a nice evening."
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we should do this again
Maybe we should do
sometime.
this again
and
sometime.
then they would get
Yeah.
married.
Yeah.
And they would likely get married
Yeah.
because you usually have sex with the person you're going to marry.
Yeah. That's how it works.
You'd hope so.
Kids, if you didn't know that, and I'm sure there's so many kids paying attention to us right now.
Marry the first person you have sex with. That is what we want to tell you.
So let's talk about the Bible a little bit.
Please. Let's get
You
started.
thought this was about video games. By the way, since we should actually be doing this. This is Steve Zaragoza. Now you're pretty big on the YouTubes,
The YouTubes.
and you also do Twitch, correct?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
How did you get into YouTubing first?
Well, I've always been kind of like a wacky guy, and I was working at a lot of like kind of tech places. And at first, I was working at one of the first places that was making like 3D movies, like the new 3D movies, not the red blue ones, like
Yeah,
the ones
okay.
that are like dimensionalized, like you put on the polarized lenses.
Yeah.
And I believe Chicken Little was the first 3D movie that came out. That,
that's
that
cool.
Disney Chicken Little movie was the first polarized 3D movie. And so I was working at one of those companies, and it was cool, but it was like I was the goofy guy that was making everybody laugh at the office, and they're like, "Oh man, you're wasting your time doing this shit. Like, why don't you go off into the world and try to be an actor or a comedian or something?"
Yeah.
And so from then, I worked a very long 5 years in post-production at Sony Pictures. And then on the side, I was doing like little side gigs. Like I was in a music video, a Buck Cherry music video.
What song?
Buck Cherry.
Oh man, the song was called "Too Drunk to Fuck,"
Oh, boy.
Which is also a
which is also
Sex Pistols.
Yeah, or no. Is it Sex Pistols?
I think so. No.
Sinatra?
No,
Yeah,
no, it's
Sinatra.
Sinatra. Yeah,
Dead
Old Blue
Kennedys.
Eyes.
Dead Kennedys.
Too Drunk to Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so right, and everyone was like, "What the fuck is this?" And it was after the whole Buck Cherry like controversy with the 18-year-old girl, or wasn't there an underage girl in a music video or
17
something?
like
Oh,
that.
Yeah. So anyway, I did that, and I did a couple of things. I was on like 1,000 Ways to Die, you know that episode, that TV
A
show.
buddy of mine was on that.
There
too.
you go. Apparently, it's very easy to get on that show. Like anybody can get on that show.
What was your die?
My die was I was a guy named Omar, and I was an EMT that apparently weaseled his way into an EMT job.
Omar.
Which I don't know how you like.
You just have to have credentials. If you don't have credentials,
If you don't
why
have
would you get hired?
Right? Why would anyone hire you to be an EMT?
You'd think they would if they were going to hire an EMT, they would be like, well, we're going to go ahead and call your school and get your transaction
We're
records.
gonna
Yeah.
make sure you at least know CPR.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the story was this guy was like kind of an idiot, and he had like taken a bunch of. He was just basically like a job jumper. He was just jumping jobs everywhere.
Job jumpers.
Those damn
destroying
job
this
jumpers.
economy.
And he got a job as an EMT. He was working with this girl, and he was kind of like a druggie. So he sneaks back into the back of the emergency vehicle, and he starts like huffing gas and like looking at syringes and trying to like take things that he can like pills or something. And then eventually he does like cocaine. And eventually he used.
He was like Pac-Man.
He was like Pac-Man. Yeah. So eventually he gets those paddles, and. You know, I don't know if you guys know this, but defibrillator paddles are meant to resuscitate you when your heart stops.
Yeah.
Potentially get the heart going again. Now, if you use those on
By the way, caller will be with you in a second. We got a caller, but
got a
we're
caller.
going to finish this story and then we'll get with you.
when you use those on a functioning, healthy heart, it does the reverse. It will stop your heart and you will die.
Yeah.
And so this guy was an idiot, and he used the defibrillator on himself and he killed himself. So that's what happened to my character.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was good stuff.
Did he get high from it though?
He got high off some nitrous oxide in the back or something, which I
Okay.
don't even know if they have in ambulances.
I don't know what they have there.
I think they keep like a loose can around
Yeah,
just for
just in
emergencies.
case.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
there's probably stuff to keep people sedated for sure.
There
so.
must be, yeah. And stuff to catch
'Cause
ruffians.
they got to pick up crazy ass homeless people sometimes.
That's true.
Yeah.
And you got to sedate those guys, Lord knows, in Los Angeles. But yeah, so did some of that stuff, and then one day a casting call fell into my lap for a YouTube man on the street kind of thing. And I was like, okay. And I answered the casting call, and they had me send in a video. And then the next thing I know, it's like, this is for a new show that Philip DeFranco is putting on. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And then the next thing I know, I'm in this SourceFed world and in the YouTube world. And it was very fast.
High five.
I'll
Boom.
take one.
Here comes.
Yay.
So
That
we
was
got a
the week.
caller on the line. What is John Michael?
He's an EMT driver. He's going to tell us what you got in there.
Hi.
Hi, John. How's it going?
Hey, John.
Good. I'm doing great. I just saw this through Steve's Twitter, and I just want to say I'm a huge fan of yours. And
You got
I
fans,
wanted
Steve.
to know your opinion. Originally, I was asked your opinion on like CGI versus animatronics and like prosthetics and that age of makeup becoming more distant. But I wanted to ask you guys on your opinion on going to school for film versus just going straight into the industry.
Well, I mean, well, first of all, thank you for watching and being a fan, and
Also
being
for
awesome.
believing that I could have any valid opinion on that.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, you could. Well, first of all, to talk about the CGI and puppetry thing, I don't know about you guys, but I grew up in the '80s.
Yep.
And so I grew up in a. Okay, so we're children of the '80s.
Yeah, I'm a little older than you guys.
Wait, okay. I was born in the 90s, but I have a few older siblings, and a lot of that was passed down from them, and that's what I grew up.
Oh,
Yeah.
great. Yeah. So, you know, I grew up, and I guess it's one of those things where, like, depending on what generation you grew up in, you're gonna kind of favor that one probably because that's when all the better music came out and all the better
Yeah.
TV shows and movies and stuff. So I'm kind of a movie elitist when it comes to that kind of stuff. Although there are many fantastic films out today. I won't say that.
Yeah,
But,
like
Guardians
the
of the
biggest
Galaxy-
movie that I
Galaxy.
saw
yeah. What's that?
that like recently really impressed me with CGI was
Words.
what's it called with the robots and they take down the kaiju?
Oh.
Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim.
Yeah, Pacific
Transformers
Rim.
5.
I love that.
That's the one.
Transformers 87.
Color purple. The color purple. was
Transformers
the-
87, the most racist one.
They just get more racist as they go along,
Yeah.
too. I don't know. I mean, real quick about the CG versus puppetry and stuff. I'll always favor a real organic thing that someone can interact with
Yeah.
on a set. I don't care how good of an actor you are. If you're looking at a tennis ball and that's supposed to be a fucking massive alien, you are not. I mean, there's just something is going to be missing in translation there when you bring it to film. So I love it. I feel like the last movie. Well, there's a couple, but the last movie that really dealt with animatronics and puppetry and cool makeup and CG, makeup effects was like maybe like Hellboy 2.
Sure.
And
Yeah,
then
Hellboy 2 was
before
great.
that, which was great,
sure.
and then before that, which was the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy
Absolutely.
movie, which
Yeah.
was okay.
I actually haven't seen that, which
I
is
like
a
that.
shame.
You gotta see. I mean, it's Martin Freeman and Sam Rockwell and Zoe Deschanel, a bunch of like great people,
Yeah.
but not so great of a movie, unfortunately. But
Well, it's hard
anyway,
to turn that book series into one
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Kinda stupid.
mistake. And I guess studios have been trying to do that forever too, and they haven't been able.
Just
to
turn all
successfully do it.
300-page books into a 2-hour movie. It's going to work out great, you guys.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's the problem with most books. Too.
No, but I mean, a lot of people are saying that they hate when a book is put into that tiny space, but a lot of people hate when it's stretched out. Like,
Oh, right, like a
The
Hobbit.
Hobbit.
The Hobbit.
Like the Hobbit.
Yeah.
Well, and especially with The Hobbit, you can actually shorten up The Hobbit because if you've read it, you would know that there are at least 150 pages of them just walking through a forest.
Right.
And it's entertaining and it's well written and it's cool and they have interesting conversations that rhyme. But you can cut that out of a movie and make it a tight hour and a half, 2-hour movie, maybe even a 2.5-hour movie, and make it awesome. And you don't have to add in the goblin who's dead.
Right.
Or make the actors rhyme as
yeah, I
well.
completely agree.
Right.
Have them rhyme
Yeah,
with each other.
I wish they did rhyme more
Yeah.
Yeah,
and sing more.
yeah,
Yeah.
They definitely need to sing. They've
Yeah,
added
a
some
little more
songs in there.
folky.
Yeah, they did add some songs, but I want more songs.
Yeah.
I want the whole movie to be songs.
A whole
I
Hobbit
feel like
musical.
That's the name of it, musicals.
Right. Let's get Andrew Lloyd Webber on that.
I'm stealing things with a ring because I'm invisible.
Wait, that's exactly what the Hobbit cartoon music sounded like.
Yeah, no, it was pretty,
Yeah.
pretty similar.
Was
to
he?
that.
He goes like. Yeah.
It's pretty bad. I think
like,
some of the CG. What I'd like to see is a mix of CGI and puppetry, where when something just doesn't look great in puppetry, you add a little CG into it.
Like the new Star Wars.
Yeah, that's kind of what they're supposed to be doing
Or
with
like
the new
with
Star Wars.
the Where the Wild Things Are movie that
Yeah.
Spike Jones did. They
Sure.
kind of they tried a bunch of different things with animatronics. It didn't look so well, so they kind of just now it's like a blend of puppetry and CGI. And it looks great. It looks
Now,
fun.
did you guys see
What
the
made me
new?
excited for that
What's that?
Star Wars movie was, what made me excited for that new Star Wars movie was when the director was talking and that huge like camel creature walked by, and I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I
He was
love
on
that he was
set,
kind of
and
showing
it was like
that.
this real lifetime set, and it was really, really cool.
Right, I love that early on they were showing off the fact that they were going to have
Yeah.
pictures and real sets and less green screens than they would in the prequels.
So the answer is drop out of film school if you're in it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
I mean, look, I
Don't
know
do
a
it.
lot of guys that are in film school or that went to film school or are currently in film school or what have you, and they learned a lot of amazing things. And
the connections.
and made a lot of great connections and so forth. But nowadays, I guess it's not truly super important. I
You
guess.
can also Google everything.
But
Right.
you know what? But I think that speaks that the connection thing's a great point. You want to find as many avenues as you can to meet as many people as you can, especially in anything entertainment related, because that's the bottom line. Unless you're able to self-produce your own content and stuff, which no one's gonna fund for you if you don't have a name, so you're gonna need to have people that know and trust you and that you are friends with, so you can provide them work and vice versa. So film school would be definitely an avenue for that, along with a million other things.
Right.
So you just got to figure out what's in your.
Well, plus like
Okay,
now-
well, it looks like we have some other callers. Should we? So, anything else real quick for us, John?
No, I just want to say thank you guys so much. That was really cool hearing from you.
Thanks,
All right,
John.
cool, man. Have a nice time. We have to go to a break now, and then we'll answer the call from Javier from San Antonio.